Hey, this is Seth with In Demand Career. I show people how to get life-changing jobs in digital marketing with no previous experience or education. And that includes my very special guest today, Aaron, who is only 21 years old and was working a terrible job in manufacturing when he found my course. He hustled very, very hard, and now he's making $50,000 a year working as an SEO specialist at an agency. He absolutely loves his new job, and I'm very excited to share his story with you. Thanks for being here, Aaron.
Hi, Seth. It's good to be here.
Great. So why don't you tell people a little bit about your current job that you have right now?
Right now, I'm an SEO specialist. I work at a local digital marketing agency in San Antonio. We're pretty small digital marketing agency, and yeah, I do SEO, everything from the course, from on page to backlinks, everything.
That's great, man. And how do you like your new job?
It's awesome. It's very different from every job I've ever had before. You know, working retail, fast food, all those types of jobs. It's somewhere where you're actually making a difference for businesses, making money for them, and you know, it's a very cool job, and I'm really happy to have it.
That's so great, man. And the salary, you said you're making 50K. How does it feel like, how does that compare to other jobs as well? What's that like for you?
It's so cool because I now have the opportunity to get my own place, you know, move out of my parents' house. I'm currently still in my parents' house. I've only been working for around 2 months, but I have the opportunity to do that. And I have, you know, the opportunity to grow. This is an actual skill set that you can grow over time. You can go from where I'm at right now to even owning your own business, and marketing your own business. It doesn't have to be digital marketing. It could be anything at all, and it's such a cool thing to have. I'm really glad I found this. But yeah, I mean, there's so many opportunities that I have now. And it only goes up from here. You know, 50,000 is the low end. You can go so much further. So yeah.
Absolutely. You said it well because I always like to bring that to people's attention because I like to say it's
Mhm.
why the course has been successful over all these years. I don't make crazy promises. I'm not telling you you're going to make six figures in 30 days or something crazy. You start out with an entry level job, you work hard, you get your experience, and you level up. But even again, at your age, making that salary, and also, did you go to college?
I did not go to college. I learned from my siblings who went to college themselves, and they didn't like it themselves. I think if I were to ask them, should I go to college, they would have told me no. And I kind of figured that out on my own and thought, I'll just figure it out somehow. Even if I have to go into a labor job, like you know, being a mechanic, which is something that's very common in my family. So yeah, I didn't really see the need for college in the beginning, and like you say in the course, there's a ton of opportunities nowadays. You really don't have to go to college if you don't want to.
You do
There's
not.
there obviously are a lot of great career paths, but if you really don't see yourself going to college and don't see yourself in the types of roles that you get in for the degrees that they offer, there's plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, and even beyond that, I mean, you said it really well, but yeah, there's very few degrees that are actually going to lead to a career unless you're going to get into medicine or law
Yeah,
or
exactly.
public school teacher or a nurse. It's like four or five. It's a handful, and people are majoring in these very bizarre majors that have nothing to do with work. You were smart enough to see that. And yeah, I'm happy because you're ahead of so many of your peers. You don't have any debt. You're actually saving money. You're going to be able to live on your own, and that's awesome. So obviously, everybody wants to know, is like, how did this happen? You sounds like you were working some not so great jobs when you found the course. Why don't you tell people again a little bit about, like what job were you working when you found the course, and how did all this happen?
Before, whenever I found the course, I was working manufacturing. There was a chip shortage. I think that there still is a chip shortage going on, so it's very easy to get a job in manufacturing, and that's the job that I got, making $14 an hour, doing 12-hour days, 4 days a week. So schedule doesn't sound that bad, but whenever you're actually working the job, it's pretty depressing. You're wearing this huge gown where you're all covered up. You know, you really have no human connection, and the managers are so I don't know, uptight. I guess they're so strict about talking and wearing headphones and just enjoying yourself on the job. So every day I just felt so drained, and so I ended up quitting one day just out of the blue. And they didn't mind much. They didn't really care. It wasn't like they were like, no, man, don't go, we'll pay you so much more. It was like, you're leaving, okay.
Yeah, man, that sounds like a really rough job. It sounds like it sucked. I mean, that's really, and again, it's unfortunate. I think it's really unfortunate that, people are not trained in careers, are not shown these skills in high school or even in college. And so you feel like, well, this is the only option that I have. So you said you worked there, it was very unpleasant, and then you quit. So how did you end up finding the course and end up with this, this new career path?
So I was trying to find a way that I can get a high paying job, yeah, mid paying job, and somewhere around the range of 40,000 was my goal. I was trying to figure out a way to do that with very minimal education, and with something like a certification or a course, really anything. My first option that I found was being a dental hygienist or a dental assistant, and and that was my goal for a little bit, and I realized no, that's just, it's the same thing over again. And then I went and found some videos where they do tier lists of different types of jobs that you can get, with with those qualities. And one of them was Shane Hums. Is that his
Hummus.
name? Hummus. Yes, and he makes a ton of videos that are just like that, and he featured your course a lot on his channel, and of course that made me a little skeptical, but I went into the course and looked at the landing page. There was a little intro video, and I saw all your testimonials, and it all sounded really, really legit. So I just went ahead and, I committed to it. I saved up a lot of money from my manufacturing job, so I thought, why not? I'll invest in myself a little bit, and got the course, and yeah.
That's awesome, man. And yeah, Shane is a great resource. He's got some great videos. And so
Yeah,
it's
he's great.
acknowledge you for taking that leap and investing in yourself. And so then you obviously sign up for this online course. There's a lot of information. What was the process of going through the course and actually starting to get interviews and eventually getting hired? How was that for you?
Well, I did exactly what you said. I went through the course. I went through the course maybe around 3 times. First time, I just I just watched it straight through. Second time, I took notes, very chicken scratch notes. And then the third time, I went in and took very the nicer notes. I actually have my SEO Bible right here. This is your course 2 times over, and it's all labeled and stuff. And I take this every day to my job also, just to remind me of a few things about SEO while I'm there. So I did all of your assignments. I made my own website. I did some SEO audits and strategies. I even did a little bit of PPC. I made a responsive ad. That's about it. And then I went to look for some jobs. I went on Indeed, LinkedIn. Just like your course said, you walk us through the interview process, making a LinkedIn profile, all that type of stuff. It's really half of the course is teaching you how to get a job, and which is awesome. So I try to find a lot of internships or even volunteer work. Ended up actually finding something in social media, which is something I had no experience in, but somehow got the job, and and that really had no help in me getting the SEO job. But it was a bit of hope that something like this is possible. So it kept me going. And I think it took me around maybe 3 or 4 months after finishing the course to get an actual job.
So yeah, so what was the process of getting interviews like? Again, this is a completely new skill set, a completely new endeavor for you. And it's totally normal. In fact, it's not just normal, it should be expected that your first couple interviews are not going to go that great. But what was it like, going through this interview process?
It was interesting. There was a long period of time where I wasn't getting any interviews or any callbacks. I was getting a lot of rejections, actually. And but I I took that as a sign that I should tweak my resume, tweak my cover letter, so I can appear as a better candidate. So I actually ended up applying locally to a local digital marketing agency, and with my new resume, with your template and a cover letter, and they actually called me next day and set up an interview with me the following day. And yeah, on interview day, I can tell you what happened on the interview day because it's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, tell us.
All right, cool. So yeah, I walk into this place and it's unlike anywhere ever been before. It's an office space and it looks super modern, and it looks like the types of offices you'd imagine if you were working for somewhere like Google, just somewhere where super laid back and everybody's super chill, and it's not super serious. So I sit down in this very nice office space with these very comfortable chairs, and a bunch of people walk in. The senior SEO specialists and the owners of the company, and they come in to grill me. But I do want to say that I came into the interview very prepared, and I think that helped me get the job. I The day before I went to the interview, I printed out my resume, my cover letter, my SEO audits, my strategies, even some blog posts that I made for my website on very nice paper from the post office, and it's very nice quality. So I put it in an envelope, and I went to the interview prepared, and that's what I presented them. I presented them with basically everything that I learned from the course. I wasn't relying on my on on me talking to explain to them what it was. I gave them something tangible, and that helped me a lot. We didn't really get into much grilling because of that. It was actually very relaxed and very fun. They were looking over my material and complimenting me a lot about it. Actually, complimenting the course. I mentioned the course during my interview, and they said that whatever I learned during the course, it was very good. Complimented you. They didn't even know you, Seth, but it was very fun during the interview. I didn't expect it because all my interviews before have been like I've been super nervous and anxious, and it's like a spotlight on me. But this was very cool, and shortly after they looked over my material and I explained to them my experience, they asked me something very interesting, something I've never been asked before. They asked me, "How much do you want to be paid?" And and I froze. I couldn't believe I was asked that question. And I imagine I could have said a bigger number, but my mind just landed on 50. So I said 50, and they shook my hand, and I started the next day. It was with a MacBook, well, not a MacBook, a Mac computer, the big one. It's just such a cool experience. My own desk space, my own computer, everything was awesome.
That's great, man. Wow, you tell it
Yeah.
really well too. And what was I could ask you a few different things, but what was your, what did you feel like afterwards? Did you tell your family? What did they think?
Oh, yeah. I told my family that I was going in for the interview the day that they called me, and they were like, "Great," because they had no idea what I was doing. I was just in my room doing this course all day, and one day I come up to them and say, "Hey, I got this interview at this digital marketing agency." So, and the next day I get it, and I got it, and the first person I wanted to tell was my sister, because she's the one who knew everything I was doing, and she was supporting me throughout the whole way. So she's the first person that I told, and she had something going on. So it was a extremely relieving moment for me, like just soaking in the fact that I won't have to go back to retail. I won't have to, look at applications for labor jobs anymore. Told my parents, and they were extremely happy for me. Set up a celebration day on the weekend, and I just went crazy. I was so happy.
That's so great, man. I'm moved. I'm
I'm
touched.
glad.
Very happy for you. I forgot what I was gonna say. Just that I'm happy for you. That's why I
Thank
keep
you,
doing
Seth.
this.
It's
Yeah.
it's all because of you and your course. I'm really happy that I found this course, and that your course is so comprehensive, and there's such a foundation of knowledge. Um, I can say pretty confidently that there's a lot of stuff that I learned in the course that people who actually have these positions, like as SEO specialists, don't know and they don't understand.
Yeah.
So this course really gets you ahead.
Yeah. Thanks, man. And it's true. And
Yeah.
I mean, the proof is in you getting hired. And I think it's
Mhm.
amazing how quickly they hired you, but that speaks to everything I've been telling you guys in these walkthroughs, that especially a local job. I'm
Mhm.
sure, and you live in where in Texas?
San Antonio, Texas.
San Antonio. So yeah, it's not a big city. Um, there's not a ton of SEO specialists there. Now
Oh
there's
yeah, no,
there's
no,
one more
not at
who would
all.
have been, you would have been working in a factory, and now you have this great, start of a new career. I'm I'm really happy for you. And and also I think it's cool the way for you guys in the course, or anybody who's looking for a job, the fact that you had fun in the interview. Like, it sounds like the environment was part of that, but
Mhm.
when you have fun in the interview and relax and just have a conversation with people, is tends to be when you get the job. That's how I've gotten most of my jobs. And it's true, you may walk into a place and they're going to be more serious or more like, okay, tell me ABC, and they're not creating a fun environment. But the more experience you get, you actually can relax in those situations as well. But this sounds like it was just a match made in heaven, as they say. Um, and it sounds like, yeah, you do work in an office, but it sounds like for you, working in an office is actually a really great and fun experience for you that you've never had
Oh
before.
yeah, yeah. It's really not how you imagine an office space. It's so relaxed and actually fun. I mean, there's no cubicles. It's just tables and computers and in a room, and everybody's there. Everybody's having fun, joking around. It's not super serious at all. It's a very fun environment, and the things there. I mean, you get free snacks. Yeah. Red Bulls, that's something I picked up. I like Red Bulls now because they have them there, and it's yeah, yeah. It's not like people think. It's very
Yeah,
cool.
it's the culture in this digital, the Google
Yeah.
type culture. And but going back to the actual work, it sounds like the culture is really good. What is the support like? 'Cause you're still very obviously very new. Are you working on real client accounts? Are you getting support from your supervisors? Are they giving you like guidance? How does that working?
Oh yeah, yeah. When I first started, I was really just shadowing the senior SEOs. But very quickly, I started getting some clients. I think right now I'm getting to the number of clients that my senior SEOs have, just about. So it's coming along very quickly, but you learn a lot from your superiors and your coworkers because they've been there for a while. So learn a lot about how business works, how you work with clients, how a whole digital marketing agency works. You know, where you go and talk to project managers and you talk to the sales team, you go talk to your peers, and you learn a lot about strategy, building a strategy from the ground up. You know, from a 1 to 3 month period to that 3 to 6 to 6 to 8, you have a whole strategy lined out fairly quickly because these senior SEOs really know what they're doing and they teach you very well. So you learn very quickly. You also do everything in the course, like on page backlinking, and even content creation. Nowadays, I would encourage everybody to look into AI content creation because I think personally, some people don't think, but I think it's steadily becoming more and more important to know how to create some content.
Absolutely. We're going to be adding some of that to the course, actually,
Cool.
the ChatGPT and things for content generation. And of course, there's going to be
Awesome.
nuances around that as well, because my take is like you have to be very good with your prompt engineering. If you type in a very boring prompt, you're going to get the same kind of article that thousands of other people are outputting. So there's still a lot of nuances, and also Google's getting better at detecting AI generated content. Right now they're not that great at it, but I think it's like everything with Google, they're going to get better over
Mhm.
time. But you're in this industry now. That's what's exciting. You're speaking the lingo, you're working with clients, you have a whole new path in front of you. You're not standing in a sterilized suit 12 hours a day on your feet.
Yeah.
You have a skill set, and I'm sure if you haven't already been approached by recruiters, you certainly will very soon. So yeah, man, I'm super happy for you. And I appreciate, everybody appreciates you sharing your story. Do you mind if I share your LinkedIn for people to reach out to you if they have any questions?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm very active in the Facebook group that is in the course. So any questions that they have, if you're willing to join the course, I'm always there. LinkedIn, you can always message me and I'll answer any questions or give you any insights. Or if you want to critique on resumes or anything related to SEO, yeah, talk to me.
That's cool yeah, man, we appreciate that. And you'll probably get when when I post these, you're going to probably get questions from people who haven't signed up yet, as well as
Awesome.
people who are in the course. Um, so yeah, man, I'm really happy for you. I appreciate you sharing this story. So, you shared it you're very present. We really felt like I was there with you in the interview when you shared that. So really beautiful.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
is there anything else you want to say to me or anybody who's watching the video and considering taking the course?
Well, to you, Seth, I want to say thank you again because this wouldn't be possible. But to people watching the video, yeah, I want to say try it out, try the course, invest a little bit in yourself. I know buying a course can be a little scary because there's a lot of them out there, but this one is real. There's Seth has a long list of testimonials of people just like me, people making more than me. It's a course you should really consider. So yeah, go for it.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much. And yeah, guys, if you're watching and you don't know exactly what we're talking about, you can click any of the links below to check out my free masterclass where I show how somebody like Aaron would go from no experience to getting a job like this in just a few months, learning this new skill set. Or you can click the link below that for the actual full training program. Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm really happy for you. Thanks again. It was great to connect with you. I definitely am excited. You know, you're only 21, so I mean, dude, it's like it kind of blows my mind to think like in 3 years you'll be 24. It's still very young. A lot of your peers are just getting out of college, and you'll be like 3 years into this career, probably in a supervisor role. So we'll definitely stay in touch. I want to like track your progress and see how you're going. And yeah, man, we'll stay in touch and we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Seth.